Ba 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 ba. Did you know that I felt like there's like three. How many Hellraisers are there?
Ooh,
I think there's like three, right?
there's maybe? That's a series I'm not as familiar with.
Me?
Like I know Hellraiser and I know the Hellbound Heart novella, but like beyond that, I'm like,
Yeah, there's. Oh, Rob said more than that. I
more
I
than that.
realized
Well, they
I
do
don't
have
think
such sites to show us.
so. I'm like making my way through all of these like pillar franchises, like Chucky, Elm Street, all this stuff. And Hellraiser, I was watching the first one and I was just like, huh, I haven't seen this in so long. It doesn't seem familiar. And then I watched two and I was like, oh, I've never seen the first movie. I've only ever seen two.
That's what
So,
I just did with the not nearly as impressive the Scooby-Doo live action movies. I was like, I think I've only seen the second one. I don't remember the first one. And then the first one is Spooky Island, and I was like, oh no, I've only seen Spooky Island. I haven't seen
right.
Monsters
It's why
Unleashed.
you're so scrappy.
No, he's the
Boom.
worst. He's the
Come on.
worst.
Come on, guys. What are we doing here? Hello, welcome
Good
to
morning.
Spooktacular Day 3, which is ironic because today during the show you only have three choices. You are either going to win, lose, or die, courtesy of Counselor Amy. How are you?
I am doing great. I've got a very unconventional take for those of you who've played along with any of my past three. I think
Mm-hmm.
I've done. I did the first Spooktacular with the alien. I did the Thanksgiving one, which felt really mean, just watching
The
people die
Bob's
on Thanksgiving.
Burger-ish one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one where you just really wanted to deep fry a turkey and that wasn't the choice. And
Yeah.
um and the arcade. The
Mm-hmm.
arcade. I've tried to make this less abjectly disgusting because uh, replaying my Alien one when we tested out this new format, I forgot how much that upset people.
Well, if there's ever a time for you to upset people, it's during Spooktacular. So,
That is true. That is true.
upset away, Amy. Well, welcome in everyone, and we're very excited to have you. And just to remind you, today's show, let me make sure I got this right, is sponsored by the Michael Myers Slasher Edition statue by PCS. Look at him. The only
Love,
one who
love,
can,
love
only one
that
who's not a
piece.
mechanic that can pull that off. So go to side.show/WLD Mike. Isn't that what a weird, nebulous sort of place to live in? Like if you are like this jumpsuit romper, like people either think that you can help them or you're gonna kill them. Like same thing can't be said about like cardigans, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, especially after like us and you got the full red tethered
Dun,
jumpsuit,
dun,
like
dun, dun.
I
Yeah.
think servicemen in
Hmm.
full workout jumpers, it's just or working, yeah, whatever those are called, work suit, work. I don't. It's not a workout thing.
I
You're
think
not
they're
working out.
work rompers is what
Work
they
romper,
they call them.
sure.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you really they have taken on a sinister connotation.
They
I'm just
have.
glad
That's
that
fun.
tank tops usually are indicative of like a final girl thing because I
Okay.
love tank tops. I mean, I got
Well,
sleeves today, but
yeah. Clearly, I'm not going to survive. I don't have a tank top, so
but you do
um,
have a cardigan.
I do. So I'll die. I'll die in like the middle. Usually, the cardigans get
Yeah,
off about in the middle. I do one
yeah.
rational thing, and then I'm gone. So, all right, and everyone. So
Oh,
welcome to Spooktacular's
Jose
Win
Cortez. They're called coveralls. Thank you. That's the word.
Work Romper. Work
Work
Romper.
romper.
That's what we're going with. Welcome to Win, Lose, or Die. It's a high stakes, choose your own adventure story that is usually themed. And of course, the theme of this Win, Lose, or Die episode is it's spooky. And Amy, what is the title of today's show?
The title of today's show is The Final Girl Boot Camp.
Nice. So there's going to be
Yeah.
some workouts, right? And we're going to look great and not drenched in blood after this. We'll be fine.
High intensity interval training
Hmm.
for all of you hopefuls to survive a slasher film. And I really
Oh.
do hope we have at least one final girl at the end. And remember, final girl is a state of mind. Forget what the horror movie rules say.
Hmm.
Like any of you has what it takes to be a final girl, probably.
I believe in all of you. Some people, thank you. I do look like a grandpa in this. It's my favorite cardigan. It's the fanciest sentence I've ever said. I have a favorite cardigan. And
Wow,
someone
that
said,
implies that he has more than one.
someone said Murder Romper, new band name. I called it. I love that. Let's go with Murder Romper. That's fun too.
Murder
Um,
romper.
All right, so how this is going to work is you guys are all going to log into CrowdPer, head over to sideshow.live and enter the code ST like Spooktacular WLD like win, lose, or die, and FG like final girl. So that is the code that you enter when you go to sideshow.live. That is not a reward code. Please do not enter it like a reward code. It is
That
the
is your
code to get
access
you.
key to this game.
Yes, it's your what is it? Your all pass? What is it from Fifth
Uh,
Element?
multi-pass.
Multi-pass. Thank you. Yeah, sideshow.live, enter that into a URL on another device, however you choose to play. The code to get into the Spooktacular Win, Lose, or Die Final Girl room is STWLDFG. Now, remember, this is one and done. This is not like a round robin tournament. You answer wrong once and you are out. Now, we have like in Squid Game, we've got that piggy bank with $300 in Sideshow Rewards hanging above everyone's head. Whoever is left standing wins the $300 in Sideshow Rewards. Now, sometimes it could be maybe one or two people. You split it evenly. Last time for Missy's, one person won it. I believe it's Kevin Smith. So Kevin, this goes without saying, but you're not eligible to win. So I know you're here. I just saw your name. But
feel free to try.
Feel free to try, man. I will be playing along, and if you with like all of our win, lose, or dies, if you're playing the game of choose the exact opposite because I always die real early, that game works for some people. I also wanted to let you guys know if no one survives, if we do not have a final girl at the end of this, if you all die during said boot camp, then everyone gets $1 in Sideshow Rewards. So actively root against each other. Tie your shoelaces, please. Check the floor for branches and twigs. Don't trip over them. And don't trust anyone. All right.
Least of all, me.
Least of all, Amy. Yes. So I think we've got some people in there. Rob, let us know in the private chat when you think we are ready to go, and we'll get started. All right.
This will be fun. The references are more subtle than other times where I've like outright referenced movies and shows and things. But there's a lot here. If you have a well-rounded horror palette, you might recognize a lot of the settings. That said, I've done my best to make this as I have no idea what to do as possible, because that's how a final girl usually feels. You don't ever have the upper hand. It's just sheer luck and pluck to get to the end.
I just always think, spoilers, for Cabin in the Woods, it's been out for a long time, so I don't really feel bad. But I've never related more than to that final scene with the two people who survived, and they're just like, they're sitting there and they are dabbling in funny cigarettes, and they are like, I would have loved to see him. I know, right? Part of them are still human. I would have loved to see them. So, all right. I think Rob said that we are all set and we are ready to go with our episode of Win, Lose, or Die. So, Amy, without further ado, kick down the doors to the Final Girl Bootcamp and take it away.
All right. All right, recruits, listen up, because I will only say this once. Welcome to Camp Cutaway, also known as the Final Girl Bootcamp. You're in for a busy summer because when we're through with you, you will have the critical thinking skills, physical stamina, and mental wherewithal to survive just about any situation that this cruel world can throw at you. Slashers, monsters, alien abduction, you name it. It's our job to prepare you to stand alone against the horrors of everyday living. You're here to challenge the preconceived notions of what a final girl has to be, because killers don't ask your name, age, social security number when they're ready to kill you. They just kill. I am your senior counselor, and I was once like all of you, unprepared, scared, but I didn't have anyone to teach me the ropes. Didn't stop me from surviving the prom night massacre of '94, but there are some days I wish I could go back to being ignorant. Now I'm arming you all with knowledge and some dulled training weapons as you prepare to run the Final Girl circuit. I'll be honest, some of you won't succeed through the end of the course, but I promise it's all safe, contained simulations. We haven't lost a Final Girl yet in over 10 years of training. If you think you're in the wrong place, the camp for lovable but ill-fated sidekicks is across the lake, so you can leave now. But if you're ready to start, where better to begin than with a killer on the loose in the camp? Quick, you were late to leave the bonfire, and walking back to your bunk in the darkness, you spot a tall man wearing a deer skull and carrying a hunting hatchet, and he's coming towards you. What do? A, hide in the mess hall, or B, hide in the boathouse?
Okay, so tall, gaunt person with a deer head, I believe you said?
Deer skull,
right?
yeah.
Deer skull, right? It's all the flesh is gone. So
Yeah.
deer
That's
skull.
key detail.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So are we hiding in the mess hall? Maybe grab some snacks, some juice provided. I don't know what the craft services table looks like at this boot camp, or the boathouse, which feels more dangerous. All right. Rob has pushed through, or Alex. I think Alex is also here.
So I think this is
The
important to note.
answers.
When you'll hear me finish reading, we give it a little bit of time before we
Mm-hmm.
open the question to ensure that everybody, whether you're on delay or not, has had time to hear the narrative before the
Right.
question answered. So the game may or may not have started based on when Rob pushes the button, but you should have enough time to answer.
Mm-hmm. And if you're playing along at home, I'm going mess hall. I feel like the boathouse is a bit of a trope, and so I'm avoiding the boathouse this time around.
Kurikatsu on Twitch is with you, says I said mess hall because we haven't had water safety yet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going mess hall here. We'll see how it's going. Rob or Alex, whoever's running it, whenever you're ready, let's see what the correct answer was. Oh, damn it. So it looks like the correct answer was boathouse. So before we move the story along, Amy, tell us what happened to those of us who went in for an extra hoagie.
Well, the mess hall is closer to other camp buildings, and surely someone else will come by to help you. Plus, in addition to all the snacks you can need in hiding, there's lots of kitchen cutlery you could use to defend yourself. However, the killer catches up quickly, and you don't have much time to think. You dive behind a heavy metal door and hold it shut, but it's cold. Oh man, it's really cold. You've jumped into the walk-in freezer. Rather than try to peel you out, the deer skull stalker jams the wood of his hatchet through the handles, trapping you inside. You lose, but you're not dead. Sorry, kids. Come on out, grab a juice box, and you're going to watch the rest of your fellow campers run the remainder of the course.
No. Oh man. And Amy, just so you know, before you read the correct answer and move along with the story, you got half already.
Ooh!
We had about 1,100 people. We're down to 517 people.
Yikes!
That's a
All
lot of
right.
non-refundable deposits.
That is, but you get a juice box out of it in your imagination, in your mind
I'll be in the
palace.
mess hall with all of you.
All right. Are you guys ready for the next step and see what happens to those of you who chose the boathouse?
Yes.
All right. The boathouse is further away from the cabins, but you feel comfortable hiding among the heavy machinery and equipment for some reason. You dive through the doorway and duck and roll into the dirt flooring, tucking yourself carefully over under an overturned canoe. Excuse me. You hear loud footfalls and heavy breathing, and soon enough, the hunter is swinging at the boats, splintering wood and chipping into metal. In his frenzy, he ignites one of the boat motors, which hauntingly reminds him of the very boating incident that mangled his face some 20 years ago at this very campsite. He's too stunned to continue his attack, and you manage to outlast him as he flees the triggering scene. Good instinct using the killer's tragic backstory against them. This works particularly well against urban legends, ghost stories, and other similar figures, but don't get too excited, recruits. Get up, dust yourself off, and step up to the threshold of your next test. Another extremely common place for killers to strike: the home. Whether it's your house, a friend's, or maybe you're babysitting, you need to be prepared for the domestic dangers you could face, even if you think you're safe. No amount of locking the doors, setting the alarms, or getting a caller ID will help when the masked and hooded slasher leaps out from your broom closet. You've got to make a split-second decision to prolong your chase. So where will you go? A, are you going to run upstairs or run downstairs? Excuse me. A, run downstairs, or B, run upstairs.
Okay. All right. So are we going to run downstairs or upstairs? I feel like going downstairs is so much easier. And if this is like time based, I mean, I don't know if it's time based per se, but I think I'd probably want to go downstairs. Because then upstairs you're trapped up there unless you can jump out a window and then you can break a leg and it's just too much. And going upstairs is far harder.
You speak from experience?
Oh yeah, I don't mess with stairs. Who needs them? That's a young man's game.
I like that on YouTube, Anil Taka says it's so easy to choose after death. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's less stakes. It's just a nice, easy, relaxed. I mean, I hope all you recruits are still taking notes. This is very important.
I guess the delay is caught up and people know what I chose. So yeah, I think I feel like we're gonna have some people who are just joining that are gonna be like, you know, the meme. It's like, what? You guys got paid? But people are gonna be like, what? You guys got out of the boathouse?
Oh, good stuff.
Okay.
Has the question opened, closed?
Let's see. So the question is now closed. I was so busy bantering, I forgot to answer. But that's a solid meme there. Look at that.
Nice.
Up, down, up, down. Okay, let's
I'm gonna need
see.
to see all the gifts that Alex chose
Mm-hmm.
afterwards because
Yeah.
I have not gotten to see those yet.
Gift game is ridiculous
Good.
this event. So, all right. So let's see what the correct answer was. The correct answer was downstairs.
It's downstairs. You
Sometimes
can
I'm right.
You can thank my recent viewing of Scream 2 for that one. For those of you who ran downstairs, you figure that there are a lot more potential escape routes going upstairs. Windows and balconies to jump from, possibly, or the potential of getting up onto the roof. You practically fly up the stairs, hands hardly touching the banister as the slasher clunks up after you. The only problem is that what goes up must eventually come down, and gravity is a weapon you just can't fight, especially in the killer's hands. Best case
Mm.
scenario, if you don't die jumping off the second story, you'll wind up with broken ankles. We'll get the safety crew to bring you campers a ladder, but for now, you're gonna have to sit this one out. You lose. Paul, you were absolutely right about broken
I
ankles.
told
That's
you.
exactly what I was thinking.
As someone who has broken a toe jumping out of a second floor window, don't do it. No matter how cool everyone says it's gonna look. And
Ouch.
Amy, just so you know, before we move on, half again. We're at 210 people.
Oh no. Oh no.
And you guys are all stuck upstairs. At least I'm stuck in a mess hall. All right, Amy, whenever you're ready.
All right. The next round. Basements are tricky. Some are completely underground. Some garages have more of a ground level to them. There may or may not be high windows or doggy doors, but you won't usually get the luxury of picking the perfect place to escape when you're making spur-of-the-moment decisions on your survival. But the basement is also filled with plenty of resources for you to use. You'll have to get scrappy, but it's easier to outrun and trap the killer in the basement than upstairs if you absolutely cannot get out the front door. Prevent the killer from getting to the circuit breaker, use gardening tools to your advantage, or be bold and go for the boiler. Hey, it worked for those elementary school parents. Speaking of, let's pick up those feet and get moving to our next test. Don't worry about the recruits upstairs. We're sending the collection crew to get those daredevils off the roof now. When someone strikes while you're at school, it's usually not going to be in broad daylight during classes, especially if the killer turns out to be a fellow classmate. They're usually going to wait until extracurricular hours or late detention. So whether you're a cheerleader, a band geek, a theater kid, or on the volleyball team, you could be late getting picked up when you spot a shadowy figure down the hall. There's no one else around, and you're not sure where your teacher went either, though that's an entirely separate legal issue. You call out to the stranger, "Hey, weirdo, what are you doing here?" Without an answer, they begin to walk towards you. It's time to go. How will you lose line of sight with the killer? A, hide in the broom closet, or B, hide in the locker room.
Oh man. Okay. Lose line of sight, and you can't they're not like a T-Rex, right? Where if you just don't move, I don't know.
No,
Was that built into your notes?
I will maybe spoil myself here. There are no Jurassic-based slashers in this.
Then what
game,
are we doing here, Chase?
You know what? Next year we'll add one on to the camp.
I hope there are some sweet Chase puns in this one as well. Not setting the bar too high.
Uh-oh.
Get it? Because your last name.
Yeah.
All right, guys, where are we hiding? The locker room or the broom closet? I'm gonna follow my heart and the trope here. I'm going locker room.
These all seem like bad choices.
Correct.
Haley Sue, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you don't really have the luxury of picking and choosing where these things happen.
Yeah, and I always feel like a broom closet just has one unnecessarily sharpened broom. And all of these, and I'm way too clumsy for that.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I don't know why, but I feel like the locker room is the best answer here. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm curious as to where maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. We'll wait to see what the right answer is. But Amy, are you playing along in your head too? Where would you go?
I probably would have already died, or like many other people would be like, well, if I'm thinking of my high school that I went to, like I know where I could
Mm.
go. But this is, this is a summer camp of questionable verification,
Oh,
so
there's
we'll
the
just
GIF. I will find you.
and I will kill you.
Thank you, James. I'll
Excellent.
be forgetting sometimes. All right, so let's see what the right answer was. Was it the locker room or the broom closet? The correct answer was the locker room. Let's go. Is
All
it, Amy,
right.
if I survive 6 questions in a row, do I get to come back?
There might be like a sequel resurrection type deal, but we'd have to work that
I've
into crowd per some
I've
other
watched
way.
enough Supernatural to know no one's really ever dead.
No one
So,
is really.
but to answer, folks, yeah, if you answer wrong, you can still play the entire duration of the game. Of course, like I'm playing, I lost on the first question, but you're not eligible to win the $300 in Sideshow Rewards. But if you're still hanging on, which is 110 of you, Amy, about another half. Oh,
Ooh.
literally half. Oh my goodness.
But hey, stick
All
around because if
right.
everybody dies, everybody gets a little something something. So,
That's true. Yeah, I love seeing people actively root against each other. It's my favorite hobby. So, all right, Amy. So, for those of people who didn't listen to me and went into the broom closet, what was their fate?
this school is your turf. You know the twists and turns of the hallways and manage to turn some tight corners to get to the janitorial closet first. You pull the door open and jump inside, pulling the chain on the single light bulb inside. Wow, a lot of insides there. I didn't proofread any of this before we started today. You lock the latch from the inside again and try your best not to make a sound, not rustling any brooms or knocking over any bottles. You hold your breath and hope for the best, figuring the killer can't get inside now that you've locked it tight. Then again, the door was open to begin with, and there's always the possibility that the killer is actually the janitor. Plenty of chemicals in this closet will easily mop bloodstains off the laminate flooring, and this might wipe the smile off your face. As the broom closet door slowly opens, you lose. Yes, there might be a pop quiz on this later.
Ha! Told you. Broom closets. Nothing good ever happens in a broom closet.
I said
Oh,
inside like 4 times in that
I know.
paragraph. That was it. Inside, inside, inside.
Can we just all say that Amy not proofreading and being 100% confident in the proofing of this is still so much better than I would ever do if I had a team of people write this for me?
Oh,
All
well, are
right.
we ready to see what happens in the locker room? It's not what you think. I
Okay.
promise there's no going inside of lockers. Up next, you might hate phys ed class, but those janky locker rooms must be good for something, right? You manage
Mhm.
to put some distance between yourself and the shadowy stranger with just enough time to get the gym showers turned on as hot as they can be. Up next, you find a pair of someone's abandoned mesh gym shorts. Hey, in a matter of life and death, things might get gross. You leave them at the door. Finally, you pull open whatever locker doors didn't get closed all the way to create an annoying series of obstacles for whoever is chasing you. Steam begins to
Mm.
fill the room and you go to hide, trying to double back and get back out of the building. It's a challenge to avoid your own traps, but you manage to get your pursuer tangled in a mildewy shower curtain, not a single wet floor sign to be seen. Surely the school insurance policy covers slips and falls, but not entire murders. You get to the front of the school and your friend is waiting in her car, ready to take you to the mall for your next challenge. I also apologize if you can hear the gardeners that have just fired up outside of my apartment window.
They're
You are
playing
headed
along. Yeah.
are. You are headed to the mall. The Foxborough Mall is the hottest place for teens to meet after school, hang out, and get an orange Julius. Do kids still like those? Sorry, some of our
Hmm.
references are a little outdated. Most of these guides were started in the 90s after the slasher fad just like didn't go away. Anyways, it's a great place to pal around and totally disregard the fact that there's a secret government facility beneath the town. Nothing terrible has ever really happened because of it, except for the unlucky night that you leave the arcade and find that you're trapped inside with an escaped mutant creature of some kind. You can hear its chains dragging on the floor, and you just know that it's leaving drool everywhere. It may have already gotten one of your friends, but you are determined to survive and fight back. What sounds like the best place to arm yourself? A, the department store, or B, the food court?
Okay. Where are we picking up arms, everyone? The department store, right? Like a Macy's type or a what is it? Bloomingdale's? Is Bloomingdale's still around? I don't know.
Macy's, J.C. Penney's,
Yeah.
Nordstrom. I don't know.
Nordstrom. There we go. Fancy. Or putting down our orange Julius and going to the food court. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go department store because food's already let me down once. So
I'm
I'm
sorry to
going.
hear that.
I'm going department
That
store.
I've made food disappointing for you.
It's okay. It was bound to happen eventually. We've got a South Park gift that says, "Go to your homes and arm yourselves however you can." Oh man.
And I'm seeing that the locker room was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was. I've seen
Ooh.
lots of horror films. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them are very weird.
Department store like in Gremlins. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can get a bunch of mannequins. You can have like the whole Home Alone situation going. Hot grease? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm doing actually pretty well in this one. I'm already doing better than I did in Missy's. That's for sure.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play along with Missy's, but I did come in a little like halfway towards the end, and I was like, oh, being an
Mhm.
escape room champion would never help me in this situation.
All right, so did everyone, if everyone's chosen either the department store or the food court to arm yourself, what is the correct answer here? Damn it.
The
I'm
correct
sorry, everyone.
answer was the food court.
Man.
You know what? You're doing really well though. Like and there's still more of a chance. Uh
Hmm.
However, those of you who have run into the safety of a Sears, it is not to be. And Baselord X on Twitch says, didn't Stranger Things have a food court? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of these that are just things that I have borrowed from horror films. The upstairs was Scream 2, and everything else is God knows what. We're just along
It's
for the ride.
it's a boot camp, people.
Yeah. Anyways, those of you who ran to the department store, arm yourself. Arm yourself. Oh, department store mannequins have arms. Plus, with so many fake bodies around, surely the monster will have a hard time finding you, right? You hustle down to the KC Kenny's, I forgot that I wrote that, and head to the combination lingerie and home goods section. These store layouts never make any sense. They probably have knives and cast iron skillets there and a bunch of tasty looking, if not creepy, mannequins. But when you arrive, you find everything pretty securely boxed up with safety tags and alarms. You try to pry something open, but even the scissors in the office supply section are sealed shut in plastic. How are you supposed to open scissors without scissors? As you struggle, you smash into one of the nearby mannequins, and in a domino effect, they all tumble, leading the monster right to you. You lose, and we need to clean up in aisle 5.
Oh no, and you made a mess.
And you made a
The
mess.
worst. All right, well, Amy, half again. Perfectly
Oh
balanced as all
no.
things should be. 57 people are left in this final girl boot camp. So now,
Wow, we're
for
only
those of
on
us,
scenario 5.
oh jeez. But okay, so for those folks who followed their heart and their gut and went to the food court, how's that story go for them?
Whether or not there's still an Orange Julius in the mall, you know that there's a lot of unattended kitchen equipment now that most of the stands have closed for the night. Plus, you've always wanted to hop the counter and slide behind the register at the hot dog stand. You'd much rather the monster eat some Panda Express or Sabaro's pizza than you or any more of your friends, so you burst into the service kitchen and start to find utensils like ladles, spatula, and bingo, knives. You also crank the fryers for good measure and then lure the monster in with various fridge meats. Chucking a large soda cup filled with ice into the chucking a large soda cup with ice into the heated oil, you take cover as the explosion burns the creature, giving you the perfect window to strike. You are really showing your resourcefulness in these challenges. Go on, get some rest tonight because tomorrow we're taking a hike and tackling the great outdoors. So, 12 hours later, we're all set up at the edge of the Cutaway Woods, a dense forest far off the summer campsite, completely unrelated to the woodsman murders you have previously experienced. No, these woods are cursed by a creepy, childless hag who was once hanged under suspicion of being a witch. You and your friends have set up tents in the clearing, but during your bonfire celebration, you hear some disturbing noises. One by one, your friends start to get picked off by the Witch of the Woods. Amid whispers telling you to run away or perish, you find an old stone with a warning carved into its face. Those who lay their heads in this cursed place will find themselves food for the witch's worms. Break her seal on the earth, cut her noose, and put her anger to rest. Only then will you survive.
Hmm.
Where will you go to try to break the witch's curse? A, the abandoned mine shaft, or B, the decrepit forest hut?
Oh man. Yeah, I agree with whoever said it earlier. These are both bad choices. These are not fun options.
Look, I didn't want this one to be as like disgusting as my alien one, but I wanted this to be challenging because yeah,
Hmm.
again, like it's easy in a horror film to go, well, duh, they shouldn't have done that.
Can
But
I ask what they were
every choice is
mining?
um Bitcoin, maybe? I
Okay, so
don't
it's a
know.
Bitcoin mine, people. It's all canon now.
Which is
So,
why it's abandoned. It's collapsed. The economy is not.
can I choose neither? Um, okay. We gotta
I
break
like
the
Nick
witch's
Costa on
curse.
YouTube. Nobody out curses
Curses
the
the
hut.
hut. And with that, Nick, I hope you're happy. I am also choosing the hut. Oh man. I mean, someone says, why would she have been in the mine? I don't know, man. Do you understand every witch curse everywhere? That's part of the fun. Is you don't know if you're gonna die. So, oh man, this is a tough one, especially if they're mining Bitcoin. It's so new and it's so
It's so weirdly
volatile in its
modern.
raw form, you know.
Yeah,
It's
you need to
very
refine it.
explosive. Yes. Oh man. Okay,
Oh,
everyone. So, are you choosing the decrepit forest hut or the abandoned mine shaft to break the witch's curse? I do like on question 5, Alex or Jesse, whoever wrote it, says, "Where to now, boss?"
that's like
Oh
oddly
man,
cheery.
I know. Where now, boss? Okay, everyone. Let's see. I think we're probably good to show the answer there. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh my goodness. And Mauricio somehow ended back up in the boathouse. Come on, come on.
Come on. Please, no stragglers. So, the correct answer has been shown, and the correct answer is the decrepit forest hut. Yes, I'm back
actually,
in.
actually, that might have been programmed wrong. The correct answer is the abandoned mine shaft.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Welcome to Spooktacular, everyone.
Alex!
Wait a minute. I think I could fix this.
Alex!
Classic Alex. Or is
Oh
this all part of
no!
the boot camp? And is Amy razzing us here, everyone? I don't know. I don't know.
The winner is Moonlight. Woof. Okay, well, we're going to see what to do about this.
Oh, wow. Well, someone said sad trumpets.
Oh no, happy Spooktacular. Yeah, for the record, the mine shaft is the correct answer.
I think I fixed it. I switched the answer and I refreshed everything, so we still have the same amount of survivors are back.
All
I
right.
think.
Do we?
Yeah, 57 people. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we
So those
should be.
people came back, or is
Yeah, I think
everyone
they
just
came back. So we will be going into question 6, and question 5 was a wash.
all
Almost.
right? But for those of you who, in this alternate reality, went to the forest hut, wow, only
I
during
was so
Spooktacular.
confident.
I know you were so excited, and I was like, "Uh-oh!" Like I have to break his heart right now. The source of the witch's power is clearly in her own home, right? You remember seeing some sort of thatched hut strung up with bird skulls and covered in creepy symbols. Most mages have some sort of powerful talisman, and maybe you can use that to break the curse. But it's creepy, and you're scared to go alone. With no cell phone reception, your phone is a glorified flashlight, and you set a recording just for posterity. Stepping over the threshold of the hut, you sense a weird stillness in the air and notice that there's a light that's not coming from your phone. There's a lit candle, and you think maybe to snuff it out will cut her ties to the forest. But as you approach, you see the candle begin to drip red wax onto an open book on the table, the pages filling with script. It's your name. Then you hear a sound like the wind, or maybe a quick breath blowing out the candle. In the darkness, a laugh, and then nothing ever again. You lose, but we will take your phone footage for the graduation slideshow so you can hear how loud you screamed when the candle went out. That never gets old.
Oh, that's great.
Anyways, mine shafts are pretty spooky, and you're pretty sure this one was abandoned because a lot of people died there when an earthquake collapsed the tunnel. So then again, it might be not as abandoned as it seems. The tunnels require some climbing and tight squeezes, but you manage to get down pretty deep and find a carved out room in the rock. You don't really remember the map of these woods very well, but it kind of feels like you're under the creepy witch hut in some sort of a secret altar. The roots of a nearby tree wind down from the ceiling, braiding into a rope-like pattern, and you see more symbols carved into the stone. But they're kind of hard to read. You remember the curse said something about a noose, which was hung from a tree, so you yank down on the ceiling roots, and for a moment, nothing happens. Then suddenly the earth rumbles and the cavern is falling in, but you hear a distant wailing over all the noise of rocks crunching. You quickly backtrack out of the mine shaft, narrowly avoiding falling rocks and the approaching wails of the witch until you pull yourself out of the earth, the ground settles, and you sense that the curse has been conquered for now. Anyways, pack up your tents, recruits, because we are lifting off for our next setting, a space station in orbit. I know it's a little unconventional, but you do not want to be caught out in the case that you do end up on an intergalactic mission of some kind. We all know that cryosleep can be pretty dangerous, especially if the company doesn't tell you what you're really transporting in that cargo hold. As you and your crewmates try to navigate the cold reaches of space, you discover that a horrific stowaway has somehow gotten past the high-tech security computer, disabling cameras as it tears through the walls of the ship that might quickly become a floating metal coffin if you don't act quickly. Whether you're the engineer, biologist, or captain, you're determined not to go down with this ship if you can help it. Final girl, final frontier, time to make your stand. How will you confront the monster? A, bust out a flamethrower and let loose, or B, lure the monster into the airlock. Yes, the chat has noticed this is both the Jason X and also my first win, lose, or die.
It sure is.
A little bit of a callback there, because again, how many horror movies are set in space? Not that many.
Not enough,
But
I say.
Yeah.
Okay. We're fighting Xenos now? Are you kidding
It's a bug
me?
hunt.
We're not telling you which was right or which was wrong last time. You guys just got to choose. Go back and rewatch that episode of Win, Lose, or Die.
Go with your heart.
Yes. Ooh, boy. Okay. Cersei, I choose violence. Okay. I don't know if I want to tell people my answer, because I remember what the answer was from the first game because we've played through it twice.
But do you really expect me to keep it the same as and or different than last time?
I don't know.
Oh. Much like Hollywood, Amy is recycling storylines.
Hey, it's a reboot.
It's a loving homage.
Inspired by. Okay, everyone? Goodness.
Jeff, there was a technical error where the wrong answer was deemed correct, so Alex managed to wipe it, and I think that one just ended up being a wash for everybody. So you got a free pass on the witch's curse.
Congrats. You got a free question, everyone. That's on us. It's on Alex, actually.
It's all good.
Okay. Someone said, what would Ripley do? She'd already be out of this scenario. She'd survive the Final Girl boot camp. She's one of the counselors.
I love that nowadays Ripley is getting included more with Final Girl, where like she's up there with Nancy and like the franchise that seems like the least invested in its Final Girl is actually Friday the 13th, because it's just like, yeah, we killed her after the first movie before it was like really a Final Girl type thing. So who knows? Okay,
so the correct answer has been shown. And assuming we don't have another snafu, I believe the correct answer was it's airlock time.
Yes.
Boom.
You guys, those of you who remembered, flamethrowers in space are not a good idea. But those of you who chose the flamethrower, you seem to have a distinct memory of Final Girls with flamethrowers being badass. It works on aliens with acid blood, so surely whatever is running through the halls can't be any worse than that. You're excited at the prospect of finally being able to get into that sweet weapons cache in the ship's hold, which honestly wouldn't have been there if the ground unit didn't expect you to use it at some point. But what you fail to consider is that you're in a highly pressurized metal box with limited oxygen being pumped in to prevent you from being suffocated. Style over substance, right? Yeah, no. Okay, we're going to stop you right there. We haven't done fire safety training yet, so legally I'm not allowed to let you work that flamethrower. Sorry, kids. Maybe we'll just come back to that one another time. For now, just watch your friends finish the course, grab a juice box, some orange slices on the way out, and follow along. You lose.
Oh, see, I'm glad I remembered. Yeah, someone said,
I think
why
that
would they?
flamethrowers in space are a bad idea.
Like, what purpose would it serve on a ship? There's
I don't
much
know,
easier
man.
ways to light a candle, let me tell you.
There's some wacky stuff in that ship in general. But for those of you who chose the airlock, it's a risky maneuver. If you get trapped too, are you willing to risk killing yourself? Is that any worse than letting the killer get you first? Might as well try anything. You manage to only lose minimal teammates in the process. There's always one who runs right for the armory instead of staying with the group. And the company's android is damaged in the process, but it's a small sacrifice to make for your life, right? The airlock is a tight squeeze, and for a moment you doubt that the crew will, one, last long enough, and two, actually be able to pull off the plan and make sure that you don't die. But with some fancy footwork, a steeled resolve, and a lot of button mashing, you close the blast doors and separate yourself from the alien creature. You slam the lock access, and an exterior pair of doors open, and even as the metal wrenches and you hear claws trying to tear through your door and take you out with it, eventually the creature is sucked into the cold vacuum of space outside. You close the airlock. You've made it. Now it's time to get back to terra firma. You've all worked so hard in these exercises, we figured it was time to give you all a little bit of a break. For those recruits who got knocked out of the training early, I hope you're still paying attention and taking notes. While these scenarios might all seem like fun and games, you don't get do-overs in the real world. Of course, you cadets know by now there's really no rest for a final girl, not until the credits roll. So don't get too comfortable. After you check into your assigned hotel rooms, you start to hear a skittering around the walls. Sorry, I guess I left out a sentence where, yes, you've all worked so hard, we figured it was time to give you a break. You're checking into a hotel.
Nice.
I thought I had put that in there. But don't get too comfortable. After you check into your assigned rooms, you start to hear a skittering sound in the walls. The curtains blow with a cold wind, but you don't remember ever opening the window. As you cross the room to shut the blinds, you catch a glimpse of something in the vanity mirror. A dark-haired woman, eyes milky white and her eyes dripping with blood. This room is haunted, and if you don't do something about it, you may never check back out. What will you do, or where will you go to get out of your room for a little bit? Are you going to A, the laundry room, or B, the ice machine?
Laundry room or ice machine? So the whole room's haunted? That's scary. Or is it just the mirror? Because this is greatly going to depend how much ice I need.
Yeah. You're like, am I cooling a bottle of wine? Are we...
Because I can't afford wine for all of the ghosts in this room. I can afford wine for maybe one of them. Have you seen these hotel prices? It's insane. Someone said a hotel in space. No, we are no longer in space. That's
no, you're
correct?
back on terra firma. That's Earth. That's ground. Firm Earth.
So I think that's Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Gordon Ramsay says time to take a walk. I'm going to the ice machine because it just reminds me of Icebox from Little Giants, which is a super deep cut, and I hope at least one person gets what I'm talking about. It is Gordon Ramsay. Yeah. Lance says he's really confused by this story. So what it is 10 individual scenarios, right, that would be found in like a final girl scenario situation.
Yeah, this is a boot camp. Think of the larger story is that you are at the boot camp from hell. Like this, who got approval or funding for any of this? But you and your fellow recruits are running through manufactured scenarios in which a final girl might have to find themselves. And so it's meant to be a rapid fire run through horror tropes just to see what happens. But I did keep it as almost as coin flippy as possible. There's weird logic running through here, but again, in horror films, almost anything goes.
Nice. Okay, thank you for sounding off people in the comments for understanding my obscure reference. Okay, all right. I was gonna say, Amy, this is like the this is like a boot camp brought to you by the team who created the Fire Festival.
Yikes! I like. Wait, right. Papo Decast said same place that funded a theme park full of killer dinosaurs.
All right, so they have pushed through the correct answer. The correct answer is the ice machine.
The correct answer. I know that now you don't trust any of the correct answers. Yes.
Spooktacular, baby.
Yes, the ice machine is the correct answer. For those of you who chose the laundry room, with the ghostly chill in your room, a warm blanket sounds ideal right now. You gather up a few linens and head to the hotel's laundry room to run the sheets through a quick dryer cycle. You rustle up a few quarters and set a quick air fluff cycle, stepping aside to let the machines do their thing. You still hear the moans and wails of the ghosts in the walls, wondering if there are people who these are people who died in the hotel, people who were killed in the hotel, or ghosts who made reservations, in which case maybe you're just in somebody else's room and it's all a big misunderstanding. That's not
Hmm.
likely the case, though, so you just decide to close your eyes and wait while the sheets warm up. Thump, thump, thump. It sounds like something metal is in the dryer. You stop the cycle, open the front load door, and notice blood suddenly pouring out of the machine. Well, that's going to ruin the blankets. A deep mechanical groan surfaces from the belly of the thing, and you're looking to see what's going on in there. And a pair of ghostly arms reaches out and drags you inside. Someone's going to need to clean that lint trap. You lose.
Oh no. It's the
Alrighty.
worst part too. It's already so daunting to clean that damn lint trap, and now it's got blood and guts in it?
Yeah,
Oh, forget that.
unfortunately.
I'll buy new
Unfortunately.
clothes. All right, now
But
for those of us who survived, me, talking to me specifically, proud of me. All right, what's the answer? Oh, it's the. Just tell me what's happening.
the ice machine. Whether or not you actually need it, you decide to get out of the room for a bucket of ice to let the ghost woman finish whatever she's doing at the vanity. You grab the bucket, wait for the machine to dispense your ice, grab a soda as a treat. But did that say Sprite or Spirit? And you notice a cold draft coming from behind the equipment. Weren't these machines supposed to be, a little warmer near their vent mechanisms? Using your strength and some leverage, you manage to push one aside and discover a drafty hole in the hotel wall. Well, no better time to investigate the source of the scratching sounds, you suppose. It's dusty and gross back there, and you spot a few mouse traps nearby, wondering if mice could be the problem in the walls. But that still doesn't explain the ghost lady in your room. You continue to crawl through the crawl space for a while, ice melting back in the hall before you discover a boarded up room. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you pull back the wood slats to reveal the skeleton of a restless murder victim hidden right inside the hotel. You quickly escape and use the lobby phones to notify the police, who can hopefully put the bones to rest and arrest this hotel owner. Time for turndown service on the vengeful woman's deathbed. Okay. Final Girl Boot Camp recruits, I know our numbers are dwindling here, but I promise all your friends who made the wrong choices are safe. They're being looked at by the camp nurses. They've got snacks and are now eagerly cheering you on as you get towards the end of the gauntlet. We've covered almost all the cardinal horror settings, just a few more to go. You've evaded slashers, witches, aliens, monsters, home invaders, ghosts, and more, but now it's time to send in the clowns. Welcome to Fun Park, an abandoned amusement park whose sign has been vandalized to read Infernal Park by some people with spray paint and an overactive imagination. You find yourself here somewhat against your will, but your crush insisted it would be pretty fun to try to power up the old rides, maybe climb on the roller coaster tracks. When you get to the carousel, though, you hear the calliope begin to play and the horses slowly begin to creak and rotate on their tracks. That wasn't you or any of your friends turning on the lights. That was Lady Luck, the park's former clownish mascot character, looking about as decrepit as the rest of the broken down attractions here. She laughs shrilly and raises her swirled mallet that looks more appropriate for a strength test machine than a carousel. Against their will, your rebellious crush gets their own head crushed as the killer clown swings her weapon and then asks, "Any other volunteers?" Lady, not for all the churros and skee ball prizes you could offer. It's time to run. Where will you escape the killer clown? A, in the tunnel of love, or B, in the house of mirrors?
Oh, it has to be clowns.
Why'd it have to be clowns?
All right. Tunnel of Love. Sleep is for the weak, people. Okay, where are we going? I mean, can we just... And there's not a third option for just hide with as many churros as you can hoard?
No, but I will assume, I will give you the imagination power to assume that you have grabbed a churro on your way to your hiding spot. They're probably available. Oh, that's the best.
no.
I love the behind the scenes. Have you seen the behind the scenes photos of Skarsgård scaring Bill Hader and he's like running off?
And he's just like, also, this is, yeah, that's him, right? Where he can do that thing with his eyes,
Yeah,
right?
he can unfocus his eyes.
Oh, goodness.
Terrifying.
Hard pass.
Terrifying.
All right, guys, Tunnel of Love or the House of Mirrors. I went Tunnel of Love just because I didn't choose the boat scenario once, but I'm choosing it this time. So, watch me just be wrong. But Amy, you are now down to 17 people.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, we've only got a couple more choices left, so
Yeah.
it'll be
We'll
fun.
we'll see what everyone chooses here. Tunnel of
Yeah.
Love or the House of Mirrors. Looks like the correct answer has been shown, and the correct answer is the Tunnel of Love.
The Tunnel of Love. Yes, I know some people are saying, well, Tunnel of Love is where these murders happened, but also this one was inspired loosely by It Chapter 2. So if you guys saw that House of Mirrors scene, everybody gets lost in a House of Mirrors, so it's likely you'll manage to outrun the killer in there, right? Or at least discourage her. The clown isn't exactly the brawniest murder you've encountered today, so it's going to have to be a battle of wits between the two of you. Plus, maybe if she catches a look at her own face in the mirror, she'll be too freaked out to continue. So you run through the reflective maze, keeping your hands out in front of you as you try to navigate. But soon you hear the of shattered glass as Lady Luck just starts smashing straight through the mirrors. You wish you'd thought about that, but you'll have plenty of time to reflect on your mistakes as the killer clown catches up to you and, well, one of her 3 reflections manages to ring your skull like a carnival bell. You lose, but don't worry, we're using a foam mallet here with some broken sugar glass, so just watch your step. You're fine.
Be careful,
All
everyone. I
right.
feel like just bursting through the glass is like sort of just taking a machete and like going through like a corn maze and just going straight through.
Yeah.
You've got to earn it.
Work smarter,
right.
not harder.
Amy, you have gotten rid of one person for each day of the week. You've gotten rid of 7 people. We're down to 10. So for those people who chose the Tunnel of Love, what was their fate?
Well, I'm excited because there's only 2 more choices left, so you top 10, just buckle up here.
Good luck.
You're not really sure what the point of a Tunnel of Love is. They're weird, and half the time, they're kind of meant to be scary, which isn't really beneficial to you right now. A slow dark ride doesn't seem like the place to lose a killer clown, but you're out of options. You hop in one of the swan-shaped boats and quickly kick off from the dock with the evil Harlequin right on your tail. The water is slow and relaxing, but you need fast and evasive. You hop back out of the swan and start running down the side to find a mate in store, hearing Lady Luck's laughter creeping ever closer. She eventually catches up to you, but not before you manage to pry the sword out of the hands of a suit of armor, because there's a whole castle section in here with a knight and a dragon, and seriously, what goes on in the Tunnel of Love? Swinging it like a mallet against her like some weird duel of, or swinging it against her mallet like some weird duel of the fates. It's really hard to say. Eventually, you manage to knock the clown into the swampy swan water, and you don't stick around to watch as her makeup slowly melts off her face. You exit the maintenance room and make a break for it, out of the booby-trapped House of Horrors and away from Fun Park, which, in all honesty, the generic name should have been a dead giveaway. Great work there. All right, let me just check my clipboard here. Okay, so we have one last field exam before I can clear you for Final Girl certification. Now, you trainees are used to being exceptional, maybe even a little bit of chosen one attitude is getting into your head. Now, we don't want to discount any possibilities, so there is a likelihood that one of you may end up being a legendary monster slayer someday. We weren't able to find enough spare improv actors to get in vampire prosthetics before running this training, so we'll be taking it to the archery range for some distance practice. I realize now we haven't exactly been including weapons training in these simulations. In a lot of scenarios, you will be improvising. But in the case of specialized vampire hunting, you should have enough warning to prepare an arsenal. You'll likely have plenty of stakes and crucifixes at your disposal, but that's just for close combat. You'll need to be able to hit a vampire from about 10 feet away, so pick your artillery and aim for the cardboard targets back there. What do you think is going to make the best ranged weapon against a vampire? A holy water super soaker, or B, a garlic grenade? Ooh, we have 666 people watching the stream right now. That's spooky.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
All right. Garlic grenade, which sounds like something that Emerald Lagasse came up with. Or
Bam!
Bam. Or a holy water super soaker. Which maybe Emerald Lagasse came up with that too. I don't really know that dude's life. I have no idea.
I would love for him to have the patent on both a garlic grenade and a holy water super soaker.
Yeah, in the vampire apocalypse, Emerald Lagasse is king. Okay, everyone. So of course, it had to be a Buffy gif for this.
You thought we were gonna get through this without a single Buffy reference? Like, come on.
I'm gonna go with garlic grenade because it just is single-handedly like the coolest alliteration that I've heard of.
I'm so glad.
That's really fun. I also really want to see someone make a garlic grenade, like on one of those Netflix cooking shows.
Just rip the top off and pew.
Cover and we just let that sit for 12 hours. Okay, everyone. Yeah, someone said, wouldn't we eventually run out of water, though? My theory
You'd also
too is
run out of garlic at some point, too. I mean,
yeah,
it's
if
a
your arm
finite
gets
resource.
sore, you gotta throw them grenades.
Yeah,
Okay.
and super soakers have the annoying you gotta charge it up and then you just the tiny little. I
And
want
who
sound
knows?
effects. I want a soundboard for my next win, lose, or die.
Farbo, where are you, Farbo? The talent has requested sound effects. Okay, Nick, I'm sorry if I keep. Damn it! I was doing so well. All right, so
Nick
it
was
would
like,
appear.
"Paul, get off my answer."
I know. I'm sorry. Like, look at your own paper. All right. The correct answer, it appears, was the Holy Water Super Soaker.
Holy water
Which
super
is-
soaker,
which
just
is
because I
super
think
rad.
that is so funny.
So
But
for those of us,
you who chose garlic,
grenade.
I'm going to science you here for a second. From your rudimentary understanding of chemical warfare, you know that garlic is potent or more potent when exposed to air, thanks to the sulfur compounds and allicin in the bulbs. That's ALLICIN, allicin in the bulbs. You're pretty sure it could be used like a smoke bomb, just a lot spicier. Explosive distribution would ensure that all the vampires in a certain radius would be affected and you'll be free to run. Unfortunately, we haven't run our camp chemistry unit yet for mad scientists and sci-fi scenarios, so otherwise you'd know that garlic's pungent smell diminishes with heat, meaning an explosion would dull the grenade. Plus, garlic relaxes your blood vessels, reducing blood pressure and making your neck just a little bit easier and tastier for a vampire to dig into. Honestly, we think the garlic defense is vampire propaganda, but since we don't have any real vampires to verify, we'll just chalk this one up to a technicality. You lose, and that sucks.
We lost everyone. Once again, my downfall will always be garlic. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Amy, this is the first time you've dropped no one. All 10 answered correctly.
Everybody wanted the super soaker. Ooh, wow.
I feel like it's got more return value. Like you can just fill it with, I don't know. You can just fill it with pickle juice or something and just have it.
I think everybody got scared that you chose garlic and just said no. No.
Yes. So congratulations to those 10. You have made it to question number 10, which feels fitting. Feels
All right.
serendipitous here, Amy. So for those folks who chose the Holy Water Super Soaker, talk them through it.
Holy water super soaker. It's genius. Sure, it requires a little pump action, and you're probably going to have to conserve resources because you're not John McClane here, but it should do the trick. Plus, having just come from a carnival, you remember how to play those little hit the clown in the mouth with water games. You take aim with your blaster and launch a steady stream of water at the distant cardboard vampire target wearing a little hole in its face. Now, granted, if the water was really consecrated and that was a flesh and bloodthirsty real vampire, you'd tear through them just kind of like that. A little more screaming and burning, but our soggy target is a good enough example. Now, under no circumstances should you attempt to make out with a vampire, not even as a last resort. Look at me when I'm talking to you, I'm serious.
Okay.
Well, recruits, as few as you may be, I've imparted all the knowledge I have to you, and you're ready to graduate. I'm very proud of you and your choices. Know that these won't be the surefire answers in every real-world situation, but your quick thinking has proven that you know enough about survival to really hack it in any horror scenario that could strike. So come on, step up to our makeshift stage and get your diploma. Watch the speakers. We don't want anyone tripping over the extension cords. There we go. Once you have this diploma in your hand, you're officially a final girl. Except, as you step closer, you get a bad feeling. I offer you the paper. You hold your hand out and then, oh no, it's too late. Your counselor and beloved mentor suddenly pulls out a kitchen knife and is ready to swing at you. Think fast, final girl, or this may be your final moment. What do? A, try to grab the knife, or B, run away.
Grab the knife or run away. My question, how did this person become an educator? Would they just have knives lying around willy-nilly? We're in the mess hall. We can't take it out of there.
Yeah.
Those damn churro stands.
Didn't ask to see my certification, so.
No, they did not. It's fine. Are we? I mean, we're just gonna call it what it is, right? You're this person that's swinging the
I
knife
am.
at them.
Yeah, I'm
That's
counselor.
you.
I'm your camp counselor, and I've got a knife, and I've got your
Welcome to
diploma. So you know.
Spooktacular. Um, it says choosing. All right, everyone. So, do you try to wrestle a tiny bit and grab the knife, or do you run away? High risk, high reward here. I'm going with run away because it's just what I chose. I've got nothing punny or witty to say about it. I'm just going with B. Good
Okay.
luck, everyone. I mean, I don't know what the odds are here, but I mean, it's literally 50-50. But I
We
mean,
got an even 50-50 here.
good luck, everyone. There's 10 of you. I have no idea. And you know someone that you probably couldn't grab a knife from. I'm 5'3". I'm running. Yeah. Um, today's show, again, sponsored by the Michael Myers statue by PCS. Don't try to grab that knife. It won't work.
Not
Just
at all. But
run away from him.
the exclusive edition does come with an alternate bloody knife that you can include with the figure. I love this piece, and I think I was loosely inspired by the that really cool base where it's kind of got a window to each of the kills, and I was like, oh, we could do a rapid fire horror scenario thing. And I love, again, everyone saying both options sound bad. I know this isn't fun. If you're being a final girl might sound glamorous, but it is hard work. You're gonna watch
in no
a
way
lot
does
of
it
people
sound
die.
glamorous. Like, I know it's like you really want to reach the pinnacle of horror, but being a final girl has its challenges. But yes, if you are one of the folks that win the $300 in Sideshow Rewards, if whether you have the whole pot to yourself or you've got to split it, that's what your rewards can go towards, that incredible statue by PCS. And again, Amy has mentioned the exclusive comes with the bloody knife, because if you just are tired of having to get blood on your own knives and you're like, I want to just cut out the middleman and just have it already done, you can just do it that way. Oh, is this PCS calling us saying thanks for the plug? You're welcome, PCS.
No, it was your boss. Oops.
All right, everyone. So, the correct answer has been shown. The correct answer is run away. Okay, everyone. The correct answer was run away. Now, Amy, do you want to read what happened to those who grabbed the knife first, or do you want me to tell you how many people we have left? This is your choice.
Oh. I would like to see how many people I got with the knife. We will see. I did. Bear with me a moment. My document closed down when the phone call started, so I have to get the script back open.
No problem.
Oh,
It is
no.
Spooktacular. I'm ready to vamp. Amy, we have 3 people who have survived. 3 people. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
That is, yeah, so I mean, you're splitting that pretty nicely. $100 in Sideshow Rewards for all 3 of you. We will get the story. Yeah, that's a nice healthy prize there. Honestly, you could probably buy this boot camp and really fix it up. You know, maybe run some more background checks, possibly, like
You could
background check.
add that dinosaur extension we were talking about.
Okay,
I've got the script back open.
Dinosaur extension. So, for those people who chose to grab the knife, Amy, what was their fate? For those 7.
The 7. This is just another prank, right? Haha, very funny. You roll your eyes at the kooky counselor, but then you see a glint of sunlight off the knife, and you get the sense that this isn't a joke. Halfway through trying to grab the diploma, I drop the paper, catching your wrist. Final lesson, you're never not fighting for your life as a final girl, so you'd better get used to it. Let this be an example to everyone else. Slice/stab. We'll be sending you home in a sleeping bag full of bits and pieces. I hope you enjoyed your stay at Camp Cutaway, because the mosquitoes aren't the only ones out for blood here. You died. That's the only option where someone could legitimately die. So,
dang.
You died.
My condolences.
Yeah. But for those of you who ran away, you can't tell if this is a test or not, but you're definitely not risking that knife, which looks shinier than any of the props you saw in past simulations. As you run off the stage, you trip over one of those damn cords you were warned to watch, sending one of the speakers crashing down. The sound system fritzes for a moment before swapping to Michael Bolton's Said I Loved You, But I Lied, one of the top hits of 1994. that was playing at my prom night, the night that everybody died except for me. Tragic backstory, that was lesson number 1. This stuns me for just enough time that you and your fellow campers grab the knife and stab me. Yeah, that one wasn't a prop. I'm fading pretty fast, but I smile weakly, offer you the diploma, and say, I told you, the killer might be someone you know. Last lesson, off the records. Your best chance at survival? Be the killer yourself. And with that, the light fades from my eyes. Looks like Camp Cutaway finally lost a final girl, but gained some new ones, with all of you who
Nice.
managed to overcome the gauntlet. And hey, there's a job opening for you if you're interested in working the rest of the summer. For now, sit back and enjoy your victory. You never know how far away the sequel is.
Nice.
The
Very
end.
well done, Amy. That was so much fun. Congratulations to the 3 of you. Rob, can we bring up the results? I want to shout out our 3 winners. So, we've got Rick, Alejandro, MJ Polo, and Bushi? I don't know. And they got all of the questions correct. And for those people who are asking, well, if they would they have gotten question 5 right or not? I think they all did. I think they happened to get that question 5, the one that was a free space.
Thank you.
They got it all right anyway. So thank you, Amy, for bringing the stress, for bringing this incredible story to everyone. Congratulations to you 3. Email social@sideshow.com. Let us know what you won. That is $100 in Sideshow Rewards. Where you won it. Amy, please be a lamb and point right above your head, please. For Win, Lose, or Die.
Me?
There
Sorry.
you go.
I was reading the chats because it's just going so fast.
You're the only other person on the show with me.
I'm sorry.
So you won it during Win, Lose, or Die. Please email us with your Sideshow email that you use to register, because we will just put the rewards in your account after you email us. But you gotta email us. And yeah, let us know it was during Win, Lose, or Die. Taking a screenshot of your name also really, really helps. So thank you guys so much for playing. Now, we've only got a few minutes. It's already noon. Oh, it's already 12:09.
I know. It was we had some technical hiccups. It was a long script. My scripts for these usually come out to about 5,000 words or so.
I don't even know 5,000 words. I don't even know 5 words most days. So, well, Amy, thank you so much. I hope you had fun writing this story.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, both with thinking about movies that I've seen, and again, like some of them just didn't make sense. But yeah, like Scream 2 was the upstairs downstairs. It was the House of Mirrors, like the reason why that wasn't a good option. Starcourt Mall was
Nice.
absolutely the monster in the mall. Like, it's just little things like that. They didn't necessarily dictate the whole logic of the story, but I got to call back with an arcade to my level up week story. I got to call back with the flamethrower. Maybe next time I do one of these, I'll let you guys have a flamethrower, because I feel so bad about just everybody wants a flamethrower and nobody can have one.
Amy, asking hard-hitting questions here. Why are you anti-flamethrower?
Well, you see, a flamethrower killed my entire family. No one was holding it. It was just a sentient flamethrower.
Oh, we found a rosebud. We did it. Well, Amy, thank you so much for the story. Seriously, it was incredible. Definitely shades of like everyone's favorite type of horror made its way into this story. And again, thank you guys all so much for playing during Win, Lose, or Die. Congratulations to you 3. Again, email social@sideshow.com, what you won, where you won it, address, phone number, you know the works. And
thank
everyone
you guys
will see
so much for playing along.
Yeah, these are always so much fun. We love this new format. Again, it's just allowing everyone to play and just have some stress on a Wednesday. Wednesdays aren't nearly stressful enough, so this is always fun.
Yeah. The last 2 choices, like, you haven't even gotten to fire the flamethrower, but you know what? That gives me an idea. Maybe my next one will be called Fighting Fire with Fire.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. And it's just like a recreation of Reign of Fire with Christian Bale, but instead it's Luigi.
Oh my god.
All right,
we'll
folks.
workshop it for next time.
Yeah, this is why I don't write these. So thank you guys so much for watching. Seriously, we all appreciate you, and thank you for that incredible Michael Myers piece for sponsoring today's show by PCS. We really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Michael.
Rob, thank you, Alex, for being Johnny on the spot there, fixing that. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you guys pretty soon. Oh, we'll see you at 4.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
we've got other things to do today. Guys,
Yeah.
you're not going to want to miss today's episode of the Comics Hall where we're talking with some people who have a comic book that just came out today. We're talking with a couple of team members from Mad Cave Studios for their Grim Tales from the Cave anthology, which is a series of fairy tales taken and made even more scary. And like honestly, Grimm's fairy tales are pretty messed up to begin with, so it'll be really fun to talk with a team from the book about how they made a classic fairy tale even scarier.
Yeah, we're
That'll be 4
very,
p.m.
very
Pacific.
excited to have them on. We've been sort of communicating with them throughout the whole month, and now we finally get to hang out with them and really just pick their brains and see if they can survive, win, lose, or die. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that with them. But, all right, everyone. Thank you so much. And you know what? Amy, I feel a little bit bad. Let's run a lottery.